Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking through the books that I read in February. Let's begin. So I'm going to talk about these three books at once. I read the third, fourth and fifth books in the Spiderwick Chronicles series. Third and fourth books, very uninteresting to be honest. I think they were just they almost felt like filler books. Like they made sense, they furthered the story, they furthered the plot, they built up to the final book, but the final book was where more of the action was at. I have to say the film is so much better. Obviously I would have appreciated these a lot more when I was younger, but the film is so much better. I rated the third and fourth 2.5 stars and then the fifth 3 stars. So yeah, pretty average. But then I read The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. I rated this 2.5 stars. I had higher hopes for it, but to be honest, it just didn't live up to those expectations. It was quirky and weird, very quick and easy. By the way, I literally read all of these books but one for a readathon this month, well, in February, which will come out at the end of March. So stay tuned for that because you can get more of my thoughts and the vlog. Yeah, so this book, not very special. I appreciate Tim Burton, but I wasn't a huge fan. Then I read Losing the Field, which is the fourth book in the Field Party series by Abby Glines, and I just have to say it is the epitome of trash. Trash. The writing is pretty terrible. However, it is so entertaining, and because it is trash and therefore it is very easy to read, like you only need half a brain to be able to read it, it's really great escapism. So I'd have to, recommend it for escapism. However, there are so many problematic things with these books that in general I wouldn't really recommend them. The first one was better. It was a 4-star for me. I really loved that book. The rest of them very standard. I rated this book 3 stars. I liked it. Tallulah was a nice character, Nash was a nice character. All of the books in the series are extremely formulaic. You don't feel it with the first one because it's the first, but the rest literally follow suit. It's this angry boy with like troubles weighing on his chest, and this girl who has a nice body and a nice face, walks in like a ray of sunshine, literally changes his whole life around. It's literally all the cliches. I might actually talk about it more in depth in future videos, like this series. Maybe when I read the last book, I will talk about it more in depth, but not the best. Not the best, but still a fun ride. Then I read Endgame by Samuel Beckett, which I rated 3 stars. I liked this. I mean, it's what Samuel Beckett is most well known for, just complete absurdism. This book is actually a play. It's very strange, very strange. I am aware that it's existentialist, and it's basically people awaiting death. They know that death is coming, they are powerless to it, they can't do anything, they reflect on life, but it has very strange, quirky aspects to it. Like, one of them can only sit and not stand, one of them can't sit and can only stand. 2 of them are lovers, but they're in dustbins and they're locked in the dustbin until the lid is taken off and they're called for. It's very strange. I feel like there were things that I missed about it that I didn't understand, but it was quite quotable at times. The quotes were quite good, and yeah, I had to read that for uni, but it was quite good. Then I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which I rated 2.5 stars. This was very mediocre in my opinion. It was very average. Obviously it has really good ratings. It was turned into a film, but there was a lot of things I didn't really like about it. It's about a boy whose mother is dying from cancer, and then he gets visited in the middle of the night by a monster in the form of a gigantic tree who basically tells him stories and demands the truth from him. I didn't like it as much as everybody else did. I didn't feel connected to Connor. I didn't feel connected to his mother either. I didn't feel particularly connected to the story. I felt like it was very, at times very cliche, like the dialogue was quite cliche and almost cringy. But I think a lot of people have a very different experience with this book than I did. I just wasn't a huge fan, so that was just my personal experience with it. Then I finally finished The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. Now, I've been reading this for a year and 5 months, which is terrible, and it's a short book. It's 258 pages. So I rated this 2.5 because to me it was very average, although I'm kind of debating rating it a 3-star, but then I don't know, it's not on the same level as some of my other 3 stars, so maybe it's like between the two. I don't really know. But this book was at times very comforting. I mean, it's a butler and he's basically going on a road trip around the English countryside during the time between the 2 wars, I think. It's a very subtle book, and if you like subtle books then you'll probably like it. And obviously this book is so widely loved, like everybody loves The Remains of the Day. Not enough happened. I don't know how to explain it without giving anything away, but I just wanted more from it. I can appreciate subtlety, but for me this was too subtle, and I found that it stayed too subtle, you know? Like I kind of wanted there to be a point where it was slightly less subtle, and there was, but they were like still too subtle. So yeah, that's that. I did find it comforting at times, but a lot of the time I found it boring. However, what I would say is that I really enjoyed listening to the audiobook towards the end, because it just felt like somebody was rambling to you, and I find that very comforting. I can listen to a ramble, but it's much more enjoyable to listen to a ramble than read a ramble. Final book is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. First 5-star book I have found since 2021 May. God, I could go on about this book. I really could. Okay, I think it is amazing for so many reasons. I think, okay, so this book is basically about a very young girl called Eden, and Eden gets raped, and right at the beginning of the novel she gets raped, and then the rest of the book is the following 4 years after she was raped and basically how she deals with that. Okay, obviously huge trigger warnings for sexual assault and rape, and also substance abuse, sex, yeah. But this book was phenomenal. I will never stop talking about it, thinking about it. Like, I have thought about it every single day since reading it. I wake up and think about this book. I still cry about it. I listen to music about it. Like, I am obsessed with this book. First of all, I just want to say I really completely appreciate the fact that Amber Smith does not romanticize anything in the book. There is a small subplot of romance in the book, which I did really enjoy because I like subplots of romance, but I also really enjoyed it because it really added to the plot. Like, it really added to the story, and yeah, like Eden's journey basically, because it was such a complicated factor of her life. It just felt so incredibly real. Like, the dialogue felt real, the characters felt real, her trauma responses, her thought processes, like everything that she did, every decision that she made just felt so real, and that enabled me to feel so connected to her. You just feel for her so much and root for her so much, and she frustrates you so much because sometimes you just want to scream at her to like tell somebody or do something about it. And a lot of the time, you know, she depends on very damaging coping mechanisms. It was just an extremely painful book, and it actually made me physically uncomfortable several times. Like, I had a heaviness in my stomach whilst reading it sometimes, just because it was so it just was so real, and it was so hurtful, and you just feel for her so much, and there's so many layers to Eden's story that just make it so terrible, but it's ultimately a really hopeful, beautiful book that just did so much for me whilst reading it. I mean, it was amazing. I haven't loved a book this much in almost 2 whole years. It was really amazing to finally find something that I could really connect with again. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was really short, but I kind of didn't have too much to say about, well, I could have made it longer, but I didn't want this video to take me a really long time to edit because I don't have that much time. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!